Alright, we're doing Nano Indentation test. First, we wanna don't unscrew the ones you do for the reciprocating first. Then remove all your settings for the weight test or whatever before, and put the linear stage first. There's two wires. One is 25 pins, goes on the bottom, and another one is 10 pins, goes on the top. And after that, you install the nano head, and you clamp it with this. Be careful when installing nano head with the AFM camera and indenter. And there's two wires you have to plug in. One pin goes on the side and one pin goes on the camera. That's a regular USB port. And after that you can unscrew the 4 screws from the table, so it should be floating. And make sure this vertical position indicator is on the middle line up here. So yeah, that's middle. And after that you can take a double-sided tape and put your sample on the stage. And that sample should be, there's a glass right here, it should be 45 degree plus or minus. And after that you go back to the computer. Oh, and then you have to turn on the nano head controller, and to turn it on, top switch, not the bottom one. First you open the UNT. And then go to options, load, option folder, nano head, and nano head OPT, and open. And next script, open script, and go back to tree folder and script folders afterwards, and nano head, system, and here are all the scripts that you're going to use. You can select single head, that single indentation, multiple indentation, or multiple indentation in straight line. But when you do the indentation, you select multiple indent, trapezoidal OM3. That's the optical camera, and the other one is AFM, so you don't use AFM. So I'm doing multiple or single. So for the indentation, multiple indentation in straight line, you select this OM3 straight line indentation. If you want to do multiple indentation on trapezoidal, 9 different indentation, you select this file. And if you want to do single indentation, trapezoidal OM3, you select this. We're going to do single indentation, so we're going to select that script file. And after that, you can open your position adjustment panel so that you can move your carriage up and down and stays. And after you can open semi-automatic panel and the graph panels. This is nano position. If you want nano force, you again click on the graph and then select graph and hit nano force, and you get the nano force graph. And next you want to open the optical image camera, and you go vertical. And then to turn on the lights for the camera, and you can go start grabbing, and you see the live image here. Then for the script file, to save your file, you select single indent trapezoidal and go to data files, and you only write on your parameters. You don't have to change the template. And this is, you can say test 1. And to change the load, we're doing from 0 to 300, so it goes up to 300 millinewton. And that's all for this part. I can move your carriage down. Alright, your saved files after the test is located on the C drive, trifolder, test folder under nano head, and it's in there with your whatever parameter file name you put it in there. Alright, now you want to focus your image on the image window here, your sample surface. So to move your carriage up and down, if you want to do fast jog, you do Alt, up arrow or down arrow. And to move slowly, you do Control up and down arrows. And to move the linear stage, you do the same Alt Control for fast and slow, but you have to use the greater than and less than values. Okay, now we will move the carriage so that we'll see the image here for your sample. So try to be on the surface where it's less poor and more clean, I should say. And try to be on the middle of the sample, so even if you go a bit further, you'll still get the capture the sample. And after now you can see your specimen surface. Make sure that's the specimen surface, not the bakelite that you mounted your sample. And after that, you select the semi-automatic panel. And here's a small button called settle position. That means that's where you want the indentation. And you click on that. And then you can go to the script window and start to test. And now the machine will automatically move and come to the position. I hope sample is solid enough, so we'll hit the camera. Oh, and one of the most important things, make sure when your sample height is 15 millimeter tall, not more than that. If it's more, you're gonna crash the indenter.
If you
See what's doing now. Oh, and then one other thing, to see if your specimen or the machine surface is flat, if this graph is up and down, this has to be flat, the peaks has to be flat. That means you know that your vertical position indicator is in flat position. So if it's up and down, that means you have to label that. You stop the test, you have to label it, and then you can start. And now it's trying to find the surface, that's why it's coming down to look at the specimen surface. Then after that it will start the indentation. So for the nano position, this curve, the peaks has to be flat. So that means this vertical position indicator is in the center, label. And make sure your samples, so that should be flat. So that should be in middle, so that means your machine position is in level. So that's why you don't have to do any labeling for your sample. And make sure your sample is flat both ways, bottom and top. Okay, now the test is complete. The carriage will go to this original position when you started. So the test is done, and if your sample surface is clean, you should be able to see your indentation in the sample, but this one is so. Yeah, and that's the single indentation. Alright, now your test is complete. To open the file, you click viewer here, and after that you click open, and you have to go to my computer, local disk C, drive, test, nano head, and we have to find test 1 sample, which is it. And it's here, and you select open, and you click on indentation. Then you see your indentation curve here. That's indentation you just did. And if you want to get the results in text format, you go to export, and after that you can select your test that you just did. So test 1, and if you want to do averaging, you can do average and put how many points you want to average. This is just a single, and it's only less time, so there won't be more data. So you can do none and then hit open, and that text file will be on my computer, C drive, test, nano head, and the test 1 text file, and you can copy and save in your USB, and after that, and to see the hardness data, okay, so you can do process indentation data. It's just a single, so hardness is here, and your Young's modulus value is here. Your hardness value is here, it's 3.5 gigapascal, and Young's modulus is 47.2 gigapascal, and those values you need after the test, and you can plot your curve from the text file you have. So when you open your test files in viewer, you just do process indentation data. You don't have to do calculate temperature drift, so you can just select process indentation data and you'll get your curve, and you can get the values afterwards. And now for the multiple indentation, you go to script, open script, and then you select multiple indentation OM3, and for the load, there's 9 different loads, so 9 different indentations. So you have to select the external text file, and it's under try folder, it's inside there, so it's already selected, and there's 9 different loads that used for the test, and you can just hit OK. You don't have to change it, it's already in there. So unless you want to change different loads, same loads for all 9 tests, you can change it. And for the straight line indentation, you select multiple traveling straight line indentation, and for the different lower, it's just doing up to 300. So you just repeat the same, how many times you added in there, it will just go. For the straight line indentation, it depends how many sequence you want to repeat. So to repeat, you go to the test tab, you click on multiple indent trapezoidal and test tab, and there's a repeat current sequence. So if you want to do 10, 12, now it's at 36. And next, to fix how much you want to move after every indentation, you go to move XY explicit and go to slider, and after that you change your offset value. Now it's at 400 microns, so 0.4 millimeters. And to change a load, you go to load linear force time by fixed time, and you go to carriage tab, and you can change your load from whatever load you want to use from 10 to 400 millimeters. Okay, all the test procedure for the whole nano indentation test, we have it on the manual, instruction manual, so you can find the printed copy next to the machine. And it also says your sample height should be 15 millimeter on big letters. And if you want electronic copy, it's on the Dropbox on our drive to the lab folder. Oh, and then all the first time users, they have to read the manuals first, and somebody has to be with them, the trained person, to train them. Then only they can run the machine. Otherwise, stop. Otherwise, this.